Hi guys, it's Anita, and I wanted to come on and share a couple of cards that I made. I wanted to get back into making them to possibly put them on my Etsy side, and it's where I started. I really enjoy making cards, so I made 4 of them, and I want to come on and just do a quick share. So I think most of them are shabby chic or a little bit shabby. So this is the first one that I made, and this was supposed to be a different type of card. I was looking on Pinterest and I saw a card that I liked. It actually had a cameo in the middle of it, but my cameo was black and there was nothing else on here that was that dark. So I switched it out for this perfume bottle, and I believe this is from Saw Crafters. I've had it in my stash for a while, so the only thing I did is I put some white paint on there and a little bit of distressing and some pearls down the middle. And these are I Am Rose's flowers. They are the white ones. I used some, I want to say some Lindy's and also some Tim Holtz Distress ink to color them up. These are I Am Rose's leaves. And this came from a garland at Michael's. When they have like at Christmas time or Thanksgiving time, I have a whole ream of it, I guess you would call it. And so I cut some of those off of there and just stuck it behind. I used a little bit of straw. It's not burlap. It feels more like a straw. I just cut some of that off, and I pretty much used the paper that I used is the Recollections cardstock. This is the only piece that's from the Prima Printery. This is a Spellbinders die. I used a piece of lace, and this one this is a Spellbinders die. It's a grand something. I forget the name of it, and I pretty much covered it up. I apologize, but that's what that is. And I tucked some lace up under here. I also used my stencil, and you can't see it because I covered it up, but I used the stencil to put a little texture on here. I used some tulle behind the top sheet and behind this supposed frame right here. And I also did a little bit of texture on the back of it with the modeling paste. I open up the inside, and you can write your sentiment on the inside. And the inside you can see where I really tried to distress it. So these are scraps from the front piece, a piece of Recollections cardstock that I layered, and that's my first card. So that's the first one. And this is the second card. This one, I was trying to use up scraps that I had in my scrap bag and pieces that were left over from making the previous card. So I just kind of went with what I had. Again, it's using the Recollections cardstock. And this is a piece from, it's a DCWV stack, I want to say from last year or the previous year. I cut that down and stuck it behind. This is just a piece of cardstock that was a totally different color. I used some pink paint to cover it up, and then I used a stencil with some modeling paste to give it some texture. Over the modeling paste, I used a little bit of green paint to pull back in this green color up here and the green that was in this piece of scrap paper. And this is actually a piece of music paper that I had printed on. It was a teapot that had pictures of roses on it. So I just tore that up and I stuck it in the pocket. Also in the pocket is a piece of lace, a piece of rose trim, and a piece of this fabric right here, if you can see it. It's almost like a netting material, but it's soft, kind of like what you would have on your dress. And this is ribbon from Michael's from the Dollar Spot. A piece of tulle is tucked back there to make a faux leaf. I also used some embroidery thread right here just to add a little bit more texture to it. This is a Recollections flower, and it already came with the glitter and everything on it. This is from the same stack that this is from. I don't remember what it's called, but if you've seen this paper, if you had it, you pretty much know what it is. And the stamp is from a Just Right stamp. I forget the name of it. I didn't do anything to the back of this one. The inside, I left it plain. So you can write your sentiment on the inside. I may put a mat in here, I'm not sure. So that's the second card. And this one is my first easel card that I've ever made. I followed a tutorial off of YouTube and just kind of went with what I had. And this one is using the paper stack. It's a DCWV lemon flower. It's at least a couple of years old. And the base of it is Recollections cardstock. The paper in the background right here is actually a download. If you buy the digital scrapbook paper, that's what that was, that you can make journals with or anything like that. I just cut a piece down and stuck it in the back. This is a die. It's a Just Right die. I can't remember what it's called. I used some I Am Rose's flowers, tucked them in there. I also put some tulle on top of that paper. And I used that to I Am Rose's leaf, another flower from I Am Roses, and the little piece that you see tucked back there, the yellow piece, that's from a floral that I got from Michael's. Put their flowers in like a grab bag, and it was a huge flower. I would never use it in my house, so I just cut a piece off of that. Another I Am Roses flower right here. I used the green one. I tucked the little black one in the back there. Another little rosebud, and this is actually 2 dies. These 3 right here are spellbinders. This one right here is it's the Dynamics die. There's 4 of them in here, and it's called 4 Corners. So the only thing I did is I cut those out, and then I glued it to the front of this where I wanted to mount it at. This one is a piece of vellum, not vellum, what do you call that stuff? Velvety type paper, and this is the same, and I just put pearls on there. The corners right here are from the same Dynamics die, just a different cut than this one. Another I Am Roses flower. I used a metal piece. I cut it in half. I think there's a piece here, yep, and a piece right here. And I've had that in my stash for so long, I don't know where I got it from. But to open the card, you sit it up like that. My sentiment, you can write the sentiment up in the top of here, so you won't see it while it's sitting on your desk. And I do like that better than having the sentiment right here. It just looks cleaner when it's sitting. So this is some trim that I had. I backed it with some pearls to make it a little bit sturdier when it's sitting. And I carried the pearls down here from the top. So it's the same. This is that same paper. That's the digital download. If you guys want to know where the paper is from, please leave a comment and I'll try to find out where it's from. But this is my first ever easel card, and I'm excited. I'm happy about the way that it came out. It's not difficult at all. My next one is to try a shaped easel card because they're super easy. And I'll tell you guys something. It says, I'm guessing that you should start with a 12 by 12 piece of paper, but I only have the 8.5 by 11. So my back would have been too short. So what I did, you can't see it here too good, but this piece right here is an add-on. The paper ends, I guess, about right there somewhere. You can't really tell because it's not a 12 by 12 piece. So I didn't have enough room to score it where I was supposed to score it. But I just added that piece on to make it sit up. I used the Tim Holtz distressing tool to kind of distress it a little bit. And I really, really like the way my card came out. So that's the third one. And last but not least is the one that I completed today. And it's a take on an easel card. But I wanted to use these. I made it out of a CD sleeve. I had these, I don't know what I have these for, but I had them. And I was like, I can make a card with this. So I used one of these to make the card. And the paper that I used to cover it is from the 6x6 Teresa Collins memorabilia stack. And this right here is actually a stamp. Is this stamp right here, All Night Media It looks like that. So that's where that piece came from. The frame right here is from these. I bought these a long time ago from the Goodwill, and this is my first time using. I think I've had these at least 2 or 3 years because I didn't like the pattern, but I do like the chipboard. So the only thing I did was I used titanium white paint. I put 2 coats of titanium white paint on here, used my heat gun to dry it. Then I covered the frame, this part, in Versamark. And I used this Lindy's Stamp Gang Stardust Candy Rose. I had to do at least 2 or 3 coats on here to make it seem, give it a solid color. So that's what the frame is. And you can kind of see a little bit of shimmer in it. And I think it came out great. This right here is from the Teresa Collins paper pack. I just cut one of them out. One of the pages has a bunch of cutouts on it, so I just cut one of those out. This is a penny black die, I want to say. This is the Spellbinders lattice die. I just cut it up. There's a piece right here, and there's another piece down here. The base of it, first of all, there's the CD itself. Then I covered it with just white Recollections paper, another piece of the Teresa Collins paper, and you can't really see, but I used some of the frontage on here. Can you see it? Yeah. I wanted to show more. I guess if I would have thought it out, I would have put it in a place or made the card bigger where you can actually see it. So I used some, I don't know why my words are escaping me, some cheesecloth right here. Again, I used some of the embroidery thread to add some more texture. This is a Recollections flower. And this is a piece, I don't even know what you call it, but I got it from Joann's, and when you shred it off of the piece that it's on, you can use it to make flowers. So I just tucked a little bit of it back there to bring some of the black to the front of the card. I used one of the I Am Roses doilies on here, some of this braided trim, and some lacy type ribbon. I don't know where I got it from. It's been in my stash for a long time. There's a doily in the back. These are I Am Roses flowers. And to make this pop up, because I didn't want it to sit on there, you can see that it's popped up. The only thing I did, and I don't think you can see it from the top either, is the file folders. I just cut like enough strips of it to, as if you were going to use maybe glue or foam squares. I just used trash paper, I guess, or scrap paper. I keep cutting it and glue it to each other. Then I glued it to the back of here to give myself the dimension that I wanted. So, and to make it stand up, I actually had to make this. It's just a piece of heavy cardstock. I think it's 110-pound weight. It's really thick. You can kind of see the thickness of it, but it is cardstock. I got it from Michael's. They had it on clearance because it was open. I think I paid like $3 for a whole, maybe 50 sheets of it. So I just pulled some of that out and used that. Your sentiment goes in the inside of here, and this is the same paper that's right here. I used the Tim Holtz on the edge die, and the back of it, I want it to be, you could write on the back of it with the white gel pen, a gold gel pen, something that'll show up, or you can use this side. I wanted it to go inside of the CD sleeve, so that's what I did. And to make the back of this, the only thing I did is I made this piece, I think is 5 by 8, and I scored it to where it would have the, I'm going to say the hills and the valleys in it. So this piece is 2.5. This piece, I think, is 2.5, and this piece is 2.5. This bottom piece you scored in half, and I only folded it to make a heel. I didn't fold it back or score it back the other way because I want it to remain strong. So when you sit it up, it just sits up by itself. It doesn't need the easel card, it doesn't need this front base or anything else. It just needs this. So if you can either, when I mail it, it'll be laying down like this. I'll probably tie ribbon or something around it to keep it from popping up. And then when you sit on your desk, that's all you need. So hope you guys enjoyed my cards. I had fun making them. I can't wait to make more. So these are all of the cards that I made. If you have any questions, comments, please like the video if you like it. If you have any questions or comments, please do so below, and have a wonderful weekend.